Wait, what do you mean I might be breaking the law just by posting a job? Hi entrepreneurs, I'm Vicky Brown, and you're in the right place if you want to engage your team, boost your business, and grow your leadership muscle. Yeah, that's what I said too. But these new pay transparency laws, well, they're serious, and they're catching a lot of business owners off guard. But if you're running a business, especially in a state with one of these new laws, you just can't afford to ignore them. You see, this isn't just a compliance issue. It's also a leadership issue. When your employees can see how decisions are made around pay, well, you'd better be sure those decisions are fair, consistent, and well documented. And even if you're not required by law yet, your team is probably expecting more transparency anyway. So let's walk through what's actually happening out there and what you, as a small business owner, need to be paying attention to. First off, let's define what pay transparency laws actually do. These laws are state or local rules that say, hey employer, you have to tell people what a job pays. Now, in most cases, that means including a pay range in job postings or providing it whenever someone asks. And in fact, some laws also require you to share pay information with your current employees, either when they're up for a promotion or again, just when they ask for it. Now, some states go a step further and say you can't ask about someone's salary history. And then other states require you to give employees notice when a promotion is available or submit annual data reports on your pay practices. So sure, the details can vary a lot by state, but the trend is clear. This is becoming the new normal. Now, let's talk specifics. California requires any employer with 15 or more employees to include a salary range in all job postings. And if you've got over 100 employees, you also have to submit annual pay data reports to the state. California's law went into effect in 2023, and yes, remote jobs count too, if they could be filled by a California resident. Colorado was actually one of the first states to get aggressive about this. Since 2021, employers have had to post compensation ranges, benefits, and even promotional opportunities for all open roles, whether they're remote or not. And this law applies if you have even just one employee in Colorado. Now, New York has a similar law. As of September 2023, if you've got 4 or more employees and the job's going to be performed in New York or reports to someone in New York, you have to post the pay range. And that includes base pay and sometimes commission or bonuses if those can be expected. Now, Illinois and Minnesota both have new laws taking effect in January 2025. Illinois says employers with 15 or more employees need to post pay ranges and benefits. Minnesota, on the other hand, requires it for companies with 30 or more employees. And Minnesota also has a poster requirement, and that kicks in even before the law takes effect. New Jersey joins the party in June 2025. The law there applies to employers with 10 or more employees, and it requires pay ranges and benefits in all job postings. Promotion transparency is also part of the deal. Other places on the list include Washington, Connecticut, Nevada, Rhode Island, Maryland, Hawaii, Oregon, and the District of Columbia. They each have their own quirks. Some require disclosure only on request. Others want you to proactively share it in job ads. But the general direction is all the same. And more states are actively considering similar laws. Even if your state isn't on the list yet, that could change, and quickly. And by the way, I won't leave you hanging. We've put together a list of what state requires what. Just use the link in the description to get your copy. So what does this all mean for you, the business owner? Well, first, it means job postings need to be cleaned up. No more vague, commensurate with experience, or competitive salary phrases. If your state has a transparency law, and even if it doesn't, candidates these days want real numbers. They want to know what they're walking into. Second, it means you have to know your own pay structure. Heck, in some cases, I guess I should say you have to actually have a pay structure. Now, that may sound obvious, but I work with a lot of business owners who don't have formal salary bands or consistent logic behind what they pay different people. They just try to be fair based on budget and experience. And that could be fine until you have to justify it. You see, the main thing about pay transparency is it forces you to get intentional. Why does your office manager make $60,000 while your project coordinator makes $50,000? If someone asks, you need to have an answer that holds water, and it doesn't open you up to legal risk. Third, if you've got a remote or hybrid team, things can get even more complicated. Some of these laws apply based on where the job could be performed. So that means even if your company is based in Texas, if you have even one employee in, say, New York or California, and the job could be done by someone in those states, you might be on the hook for compliance with the transparency laws in those states as well. See, I meant it when I said complicated. Fourth, to top it all off, aside from the legal compliance aspect, your team is watching. Even in places where the law doesn't require it, your employees might expect it, especially younger workers. Transparency builds trust, but only if what you're revealing is consistent and equitable. So, let's talk about what to do next. If you're hiring or plan to hire, here's what I recommend. Figure out if your state has a law in place already or something's coming soon. Make sure you know your threshold. Some laws kick in at 4 employees. Others don't start until 15 or 30. But don't wait until the law is live. Get ahead of it. Start documenting salary ranges for every role in your company. You don't need a full-blown compensation strategy if you're just starting out, but you do need consistency. Document what you're paying and why. Write it down. Use ranges that reflect what you actually pay a new hire, not just what someone's making now. Add pay ranges to job postings. Yep, even if your state doesn't require it yet. You'll look more transparent, more organized, and more competitive. Candidates are skipping over vague job ads, and you don't want to lose out because your posting didn't have a number. Train your managers. If they're involved in hiring or pay conversations, they need to know what's okay to say and what isn't. That includes avoiding salary history questions in places where that's banned. Review your promotion and raise process. If your state requires you to post promotion opportunities or share pay info internally, you'll need a process for that. It's also a good chance to look at whether you're being fair in how raises and promotions are handled. Consult a professional. Whether it's your HR advisor, employment counsel, or a compliance service, don't try to wing this stuff. A quick check-in now can save you a lot of pain later. Pay transparency isn't going away. In fact, it's becoming a baseline expectation for applicants, for current employees, and for regulators. Now, that doesn't mean you need a fancy compensation plan or a giant HR department, but it does mean you need to get intentional about how you talk about pay, how you set pay, and how you document it. Because when the laws catch up to where the business is, or if someone files a complaint, you'll want to be ready. And honestly, getting proactive here isn't just about staying out of trouble. It's about showing up as a better leader. Because when you bring clarity to something as sensitive as pay, you build a workplace that people trust and want to be a part of. And that's how you keep your best people. That's how you build a business that lasts. And don't forget to use the link in the description for your copy of the list by state. And remember, your inspired leadership is the secret sauce to having a high-performance team and a wildly successful business you'll love. I'll see you next time on Leader's Journey.